actual training.
Let's
get your pen and paper. Go get it.
Get your pen and paper. Get ready to learn. I'm going to read his quick bio. Then I'm going to bring him on because I know he's ready to rock. He said he's fired up already. A little quick synopsis on who is Max Knowles and why should you care to listen to him? That's a big thing. Why should I listen to this person? Max started network marketing. Say it again?
Because we told you to.
That's good, but here's even more reason. Max started in network marketing at 18 years old, right out of high school. Max had no upline support, so it was him on his own. No system or MLM experience, but he became a student of the industry and mastered the game within a few years. By the age of 21, he was the youngest person to ever hit the rank of regional vice president inside of his company. Max is currently 26 years old and recognized as a top producing senior vice president and a Circle of Champions member worldwide. Now, you might not know what those titles mean, but they don't just invite anybody into a Circle of Champions. So Max is a good person to learn from. We are so excited to bring him on. He's been a friend of Joel and mine and Online Sales Pro for years now. As we told you, he was one of our first founding members in the first 3,000 users we ever had, and now we're over 45,000. So without further ado, get your pen and paper ready, listen hard, write fast, and here's our good friend, Mr. Max Knowles.
And then he'll come on?
He will. He's coming.
Wonderful. You're on mute, but
I got him. I got it unmuted. Max.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Good to have you on here. We got about 130 of our closest friends excited to hear what's going on in Max Knowles' life. Where you at this time of the year? I know you have teams you run in Florida, teams you run in Illinois, as well as you're all over the whole country, and it's kind of a life by design.
Before you jump in, I just want everyone to know that Max is a great guy, right? We appreciate Max. We work very closely with him. He's helped us create what we have today. And some of the things that all of you guys out there are using on a daily basis was working directly with him. So I want you guys to listen to this guy because not only is he a good friend, but he is one of the best trainers that I've ever seen. Okay, so he's about to bring a bunch of training that can teach you how he's found success. And I hope it touches a few of you today and gets you guys in gear to go out there and win like Max does. But Max, I'm happy to have you on, man. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I love being around you. I just feel better when you're here.
Well, I appreciate the two of you guys. You guys are absolutely crushing it and creating a whole entire movement with the Online Sales Pro app and the support you guys have and all the content you're putting out there. It's just amazing the type of tools and resources that everyone has access to. You know, I could only wish had I had access to stuff like that when I first got involved in the industry in 2004. It probably would have cut my learning curve down by at least 50% and obviously reach the top of my company a lot quicker. But I really appreciate your relationship, your friendship, your mentorship, because I do learn a lot from you guys. And you guys are just making a major difference for everybody in the direct sales world. So you guys are awesome. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Max.
Thanks, Max.
Well, I'm excited to be on here and share with the OSP community a little bit about my story, some tips and some strategies to help every single person maximize their opportunity and, more importantly, set themselves up to win big as we close out 2017 and go into a whole new year in 2018. You know, obviously successful people are always thinking ahead. And so most successful people are already thinking about 2018, while average people are thinking about what's going on this weekend. And so if you understand how business works, and maybe you're just new to the industry overall, it's important that we begin to really take on that mindset of being a CEO, being an entrepreneur, and having that longer term perspective about what we're creating here with our businesses. So if it's okay with Joel and Grady, I'd like to share my screen.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
No, please.
I'm going to jump right in. We're going to go beast mode. Is that okay?
That's great.
That's what we expect, nothing less from you.
Beautiful. All right. I'm going to make sure you guys can see my PowerPoint here.
Yeah, man. Looks great.
Okay. There we go. You guys can see that? Okay. So what I'm going to go over first and foremost is basically my background, my story in terms of how I got started and, you know, kind of the struggles I had to go through. Just so we're all not total strangers, my name is Max, and I've been in network marketing, direct sales with one company for almost 13 years. So this is it's been quite a journey. This is the longest thing I've ever done in my life. In fact, I know Grady read my bio. I'm a little embarrassed to say that bio is a little outdated because I'm not 26 anymore. I'm actually 31. I need to have that updated.
You look good though. You must moisturize, man. You look great.
Yeah, it's the salt life, living here on the beach. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm Asian, so Asians really age good.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
But the title of my conversation today, Success is a Choice. I think a lot of people, when they get involved in direct sales and network marketing, they have this, expectation or a certain perception of what success is and how to be successful. And for a lot of people, we underestimate how hard it is to be successful. And then eventually what ends up happening is we get disappointed. And then we begin to start thinking that success is some far-fetched thing that's unattainable. But the reality is success is a choice, and success is learnable by anyone and everyone. As long as you're willing to put in the time and the effort to master your craft, to master your business, there's no question about it that in a matter of time, you can achieve success, and success obviously being whatever that means to you. But let's just jump right into how I got started in ACN. So that was me before that was me before my company, before network marketing, before personal growth. You can see my picture here on the left. I looked a little confused, right? Kind of lost. I was going through a lot of things growing up. In fact, I was kicked out of school in public when I was in the middle school, high school time frame. I was kind of doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. And cut a long story short, I didn't have the best background story when I first got into direct sales and network marketing. And because of all that, I actually needed to find a way to make some money because I was trying to go to college. And because of my situation and all that, I was kind of limited as to what kind of work I could find. And so, believe it or not, I got introduced to network marketing, and I was really excited about it, more so because they didn't ask for a resume, or they didn't really do a background check. So they didn't really care about my past story or what I had done. But with all that being said, I got into the industry because it was relatively easy to get in. Obviously they didn't really care where I came from or what I did. But the challenging piece was my mindset and my belief system was all off. So even though I had a great opportunity, I wasn't ready to maximize the opportunity because I had to grow. I had to get over a couple of things. I had a lot of baggage. I had a lack of skills. And so I got involved. I dealt with most struggles that most people have to deal with. But the great news is I think the one characteristic and quality I came into the game with was a no-quit mindset. And as hard as it got, and I'll talk about the story as we progress here, I was able to just stay the course. And there were times where it was difficult. There was times where I questioned. There was times where I doubted, will this ever work for me? But every time I started having these type of breakdowns, I just made decisions to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And little by little, things began to change. My business began to grow. And before you know it, my lifestyle, everything changed. I changed, my life changed, my business changed. This is 2004 when I was able to get promoted as one of the youngest people in my company to hit the pinnacle of a company called Senior Vice President. It was probably one of the greatest moments of my life because I had gone through so many challenges, so much personal growth, that being able to walk the stage and get promoted for attaining this position, it really was a dream come true. So this is where I started. This is where I ended up. But really what matters is what happened in between all of this. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to get right into it. So just like most of you, I got involved in network marketing. I did what everybody does when they first get started. They start reading books, listening to audios. Obviously, back then in 2004, we didn't have Online Sales Pro as a resource that we could plug into. So I was just doing what I was told to do, sort of dressing up, going to trainings and events, and just had this excitement about that I was going to make it. I was going to get rich. It was just going to, obviously be a great thing. That was actually my first suit right there. That was my first recruit in my network marketing company. He was also my best friend. Not only was he my first recruit, but he was also the first person to quit my team. He was the first quitter I ever experienced. And it was kind of hard because it was my best friend in the whole world. And so when he decided to quit, I was like, oh my goodness, it's only been 2 weeks. Man, if he's quitting, maybe I should quit. So I actually even questioned whether or not I should do the business right when my best friend quit the business. And so obviously it was a challenge. In my first 30 days in business, it was really hard. It was totally out of my comfort zone. And I remember my mentor at the time, he told me, hey, Max, the reality is in this business and network marketing, you have to understand, you have to have a mindset of momentum, and you have to think of yourself in terms of a jet. And I didn't know what he meant, but he explained it to me like this. He goes, a jet will use 3/4 of its fuel supply to get into the air. So off the tarmac into the air. It uses the majority of its energy, its fuel, and resources to get off the ground and into the air, just like in network marketing. And he says, once the plane is off the air, all the plane needs is just 1/4 of the tank of gas that's left to complete the entire destination. So my mentor got me to think, okay, the hardest part's going to be in the beginning, the first 30, 60, 90 days. If I could just keep pushing and get my business off the ground, then I could just use that momentum to take me where I want to go, which would be obviously to the top of the company. And so I took that mindset, I continued putting in work, and 2 months later, 3 months later, this is what it really felt like. My plane was not getting off the tarmac. It felt like a struggle. I felt like I was misled. I was like, what are you talking about? Maybe there's no fuel even in my airplane. This is probably all just a big joke. It was so difficult. I was so frustrated. And I got to the point, I don't even know if I could do this. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I've been in the business for a few months. I'm seeing very little money. My team's not growing. What am I going to do, right? And so at that point, I started reading some books on network marketing. I started reading Your First Year Network Marketing. I read Think and Grow Rich. And every time I read any of these books, they always talked about the importance of finding a mentor, a person that would coach you and teach you and show you the way, right? And so when my mentor told me, he explained to me, Max, this is not get rich quick. This is what you call get rich slow. And getting rich slow is better than getting rich never. He told me, Max, you've got to be patient. You got to work hard, be patient, and the rest will follow. You got to trust the process. Don't rush the process. And that was important because I was trying to become a millionaire like overnight. I was trying to become a millionaire in 6 months. And you know what? That wasn't necessarily practical for someone in my situation because I had a lot of personal growth I had to go through. And so all the challenges I experienced in my first couple of months was necessary in the process in order for me to grow into the person I needed to be so I could start achieving success. And so, a couple months passed by, still didn't see much growth. I started, really trying to get into my business, do more work, talk to more people. Really, it took forever. I was so frustrated my first 8 months in this business. But then something happened. What happened was my business began to actually take off. I plugged into one of my company's events. I met some people who were actually having tremendous success. I remember meeting a guy who was 21 years old in the company, and he was making 6 figures, driving a Porsche 911, living in $1 million home. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this guy doing? If he could do it, I could do it, right? And so thank God I made that connection because he really took me under his wing and taught me a lot. And I met him in 2005, towards the end of 2005. So here's what happened. My first year in my network marketing company, 2004, I put in 27 recruits. That's pretty pathetic, actually, if you think about that, right? That's like the 2 people per month joining my team. That's not a lot of momentum at all. 2005, you would expect some major growth, but not really. We doubled it to 56 people in my organization, year 2. And year 2 is when I made a disconnection and obviously was able to start really learning how to do things the right way. And in 2006 is when I had my breakthrough. My business, we enrolled 406 distributors or IBOs in my group that year. That year, 2006, I made over $140,000 that year. It's my first time ever making 6 figures. So my first year in business, I probably made like $3,000. Second year in business, probably made $6,000, $7,000. Now, I'm not saying this to discourage you guys, but letting you know the journey I had to go on. Because most people would have quit after their first 3 months and having no success. Then the rest of the people would have quit after their first year and only having 27 people join your team. See, we have to have a farmer's mentality where we got to focus on planting the seeds. And as long as we keep planting the seeds, guess what? The harvest is going to come. So we've got to have patience in this process because from 2006, my business doubled or quadrupled or multiplied by 400, as you can see, made 6 figures. And then in the next year was able to hit the next level called regional vice president. And then moving forward was able to build the business that I have today. And so I went from that type of mindset to this mindset because I blew up. I literally blew up in this business and the rest is history. So what was a breakthrough? What was the breakthrough? It happened in May of 2006. From struggle to success, all of a sudden, right? People see that like, wow, how'd you go from no momentum to momentum? And it's funny because it wasn't that my skill set necessarily improved dramatically. It had gotten better, but it wasn't necessarily just the skills I had developed from 2004 to 2006. What it really was my mindset and understanding how success actually works. And I'm going to share with you what really changed my life in terms of how I started viewing this business. And so my mentor, that gentleman I told you about, he said, Max, listen, here's what you got to realize. The reason why you're not winning is because you're on this emotional roller coaster. You'll have some success and then you don't have success. And when you don't have success, you're down and out mentally and emotionally. He goes, you got to realize that success is just like everything in life. And he gave me an example of the economy, right? He says the economy moves in cycles. There's a peak, then a recession, then a trough, then expansion, and then another peak. But understand the economy doesn't stay at that high all the time and forever. It's not permanent. It'll peak. And then right after that peak, what's going to happen? It begins to downturn into a recession, then a trough, then expansion, then another peak. So it's a constant cycle that's happening every single year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And so what he explained to me was, everything in this world is built on a cycle. If the economy is built on a cycle, and the economy is built by what? People. Understand that success, business, entrepreneurship is the same exact thing. And so he gave me this example. He goes, look, here's how success works. Once you master the mechanics of success, then you can be in the driver's seat and drive success as far as you want to go, because now you understand how it works. He says, look, success is the starting point. From there, what happens? You begin to experience a struggle. From that struggle, you're going to have a what? A breakdown. That breakdown, if you don't quit, if you don't stop, will lead to what? A breakthrough. And from that breakthrough, that's when you have a realization, an aha moment, an innovation, and all of a sudden you're going to experience a new level of success. But here's what happens with a lot of people. They experience that new level of success and they think they've arrived. They think they've made it. Oh my God, I'm here. I got it done. I've reached my promotion in my company. But what they don't realize, that level of success, because they're at a new level now, there's going to be a whole nother level of challenges and obstacles they're going to have to overcome. It's just like a video game. Every level in a video game, it doesn't get easier, it gets more difficult. And so in your business and in your success, understand it's the same process. But when I understood this right here, it literally took my emotions out of the game of business. It took my emotions out of my success game. It was no longer about how I felt, because I knew that my feelings had no determining factor in terms of where I would end up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Because as long as I understood that for every success, there's going to be a struggle. For every struggle, there'll be a breakdown. But for every breakdown, there'll be a breakthrough. See, that's where I started putting my attention and focus. So my whole mindset was, I got to get through my breakdown as fast as possible, because once I do, I'll have a breakthrough. And from that breakthrough, I'm going to have massive success. So what was the biggest takeaway I got in 2006? The breakdown comes before the breakthrough. See, I used to think when things weren't happening, I used to get all emotional. I'd get discouraged. I'd be all negative, and, I'd become a negative Nancy when things wouldn't go my way or the way I wanted them to. But instead of taking responsibility and realizing that it's just a temporary situation, I would make it a bigger problem than it actually was and get consumed by it. But once I understood that the breakdowns are temporary, the pain is temporary, the struggles are temporary, it's all part of the process, I got excited. I got excited as I started experiencing these things, so I was able to turn the pain into power. I started using that negativity as motivation to do what I needed to go and do. And that mindset right there is what shifted, because now it didn't matter what people did. It didn't matter what people said. It didn't matter, how much money I was making or didn't make, because I was now just focused on taking the actions. Because I knew if I followed the system, took the action, and was consistent, there's no question about it, I'd be able to cross the finish line. And so ultimately, that's exactly what happened. I was able to reach the top of my company, got promoted to senior vice president, was able to achieve a tremendous lifestyle. That's my lifestyle that I have here in South Florida, from the homes to the condos. My dog and my cat. Well, yeah, I don't have my cat anymore. Basically being able to live a true quality of life. But it's so amazing because when I was going through the darkest, deepest disappointments in my business, it was so hard to get myself excited about the vision. It's so excited to get myself about thinking about the future. And that's where most people drop the ball. They get so consumed by the moment and the circumstances they're in. And it's so crazy because if you can just trick yourself, if you can fake yourself out, instead of getting so caught up on your circumstances in the moment and just sell yourself out, get your mind brainwashed on where you're going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Trust me when I tell you, when you get to the destination, you won't remember the pain. You won't remember that those circumstances you had to go through and how hard it was. You'll be appreciative of it, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. My mentor always always taught me, the greater the pain, the greater the success. The greater the challenge, the greater the reward. So understand that if you want to live big, you're going to have to do some big things, right? And it all begins with you just making that commitment. And so let's talk about some of the most important tips that I got in 2006 that's helped me create a multi-million-dollar business here over the last 13 years in network marketing. When I understood this word momentum, I made a decision that I was going to become a master of momentum, M-O-M, mom, right? Now, understand, what does a mom do with a baby? A mom takes care of a baby, nurtures the baby, nourishes the baby, protects the baby. So a mom is really protective of the baby so that baby can do what? Grow into an adult. Well, your business is a baby, and you are like a mom, right? And so the acronym MOM stands for Master of Momentum. So with momentum, meaning your business, you got to nurture your business, protect your business, you got to take care of your business. And if you do, your business will grow. So here's how I define momentum within my organization. Momentum is a lot of new and excited people following the system and getting results. So let me actually break it down really quick. So momentum is a lot of new and excited people. So some people, including myself in 2004 and 5, I would go out there and recruit 2 people. And all of a sudden I would think I'm done. I'm good. I got 2 people. Let me take care of these 2 people. I'm in momentum. And that's wrong. And so what happens is we get into management mode right away. See, what we've got to realize, to create momentum, you got to have a lot of new and excited people. So what would be considered a lot? Well, I would say if you could enroll at least 5 to 10 new representatives or recruits or sponsors within your organization in a matter of 7 to 10 days. So you're doing it in a short window of time. If you can sign up 5 to 10 people in a short window of time, that condensing of time and plus all those new people could create a spark of fire in your organization. So first thing we have to realize, to create momentum, you're going to need a lot of what? New and excited people. So that's the other piece, new and excited people. What is new? How do I define new people? Well, for me, it's typically like 10 days in at most, or 15 days at most. Anything beyond that, they're no longer new. So you got to understand, when people are first getting started in their businesses, their excitement level is going to be the highest at the very beginning. But every day that goes by, every week that goes by, if they're not seeing results, their excitement goes from 100% to 70% to 50% to no percent. So it's important that we're working with the people right when they're getting started, because that's where their excitement is going to be the highest. The next thing, you got to have people who are excited. See, I've signed up people that even after they sign up, they're still negative. I'm sure you've experienced that. You sign up a recruit and you're still complaining. You're still asking weird questions. You're still skeptical and doubtful. So don't think just because someone joins your team that they're actually going to do the business or follow through. See, what you're looking for are people who are new, but also excited, that want to do it. You can't want it more for them than they want it for themselves, right? Here's the third piece. They got to follow the system. You can sign people up and they can be excited, but if they're not coachable to the system, that person's not going to end up successful. It's like driving a car with a GPS. If you don't follow the instructions from the GPS, guess what? You're not going to end up in your destination. So the key is new, excited, and willing to follow the system. And here's what the automatic outcome is: what? Results, producing results. So people ask me all the time, man, I'm not producing results. My team's not producing results. Well, all you have to do is go backwards, because results are the fruit of the tree. What you got to look at are the roots that make the tree. So if the results are good, it's because you've got a lot of new and excited people following the system, and that's why you have momentum. If you're not getting great results or the momentum's not happening, there's a breakdown. Where's that breakdown? Is it because you don't have a lot of new and excited people? Is it that you don't have a system that people are following? It's important to figure it out. Now, I'm going to wrap up pretty soon with this next piece. And this is going to be what I would just tell you guys what helped me crush the game in my business in 2006 when I understood it, right? In network marketing and sales, direct sales, whatever it is, no matter what kind of business it is, all business is built on numbers, right? All sales is built on numbers. And when I understood what I was really doing, everything changed for me. So here's an example, right? Your leaders are waiting in a line. So imagine a line, whatever the top level in your company is, whether it's called senior vice president, diamond, ruby, whatever it is, right? In your company, to reach that level, I don't care what company it is, you're going to have to build an organization of distributors and customers. Now, within that organization, you're going to need customers. You're going to need leaders. You're going to need, obviously people who are just going to get started or whatever, and maybe they won't do anything. You don't know who's going to do what. So what my mentor always taught me was you got to have this image that you have an imaginary line of thousands of people. And your job is to go through that line as fast as possible to find your players, to find your leaders. And so in this example here, you'll see, so let's say you start talking to the people in your organization, whether it's you're generating leads on Online Sales Pro. Sometimes people think, well, I got 10 leads, I'm good. No, that's not enough. You need hundreds of leads, right? And then we get hung up or caught up on the 1 or 2 leads. We've got to have a big number mindset. So imagine all the leads you get, all the people you're talking to, this is a no, boom, this is a no, boom, this is a no. And then this person's like, yes, I want to do it. And then what happens? You want to get back to the line and keep going through the individuals, keep talking to people. Hey, so are you open to making extra income? Great. Do you keep your options open? Great. Did you have a chance to watch a video? Great. I saw you went to my landing page and you requested some information. So you're going to be going through a lot of people in order to find those players. They're waiting for you in the line. And so what you have to have the mindset of is you're sorting for results. Now, what is a result? A result is a new distributor who signs up, or a new customer who signs up, or someone who commits to showing up to an event, whether it's an online event such as today, or a company event, whatever it is, or getting referrals. So what my mentor taught me was you don't work for free. Even when you're talking to people, you're getting, for instance, I remember getting probably at one point, maybe like 10, 15, 20 leads in a matter of 24 hours. And with those leads, I started calling them back from, the landing page I got, and maybe like 1 or 2 people actually wanted to do something with the business. And I'm so glad I remembered this conversation, because the other people who didn't want to do the business or didn't respond, here's what I ended up doing with those individuals. I started getting referrals from them. I offered them my product, my service. So I was actually able to create income from the people who said no to the opportunity. So no matter how you look at it, everybody will either join your business or become a customer or give you a list of referrals. So you can pull things, you can get results from every single person you talk to. You just have to have that mindset and be able to work fast. My mentor taught me 2 important words: speed and exposure. That's the name of the game. And so how do you create this momentum? Well, it's important that we understand the bear effect, right? Everybody who gets started in network marketing in your company, my company, whatever it is, they have a certain level of belief. Now, that belief may be a high level of belief, a low level of belief. Let's just imagine there's a baseline level of belief, right? So we'll call it a belief level 1. I don't know why that's pink. Let's turn that to red. Okay. So here's what happens, right? They have a level of belief, they join the business, they hear the testimonials, they see what's going on. So they're like, okay, this is cool. This might work. They're not like 100% convicted, but they have enough belief to say, you know what, I'll at least give the business a try. And with that level of belief, they're going to have an equal level of enthusiasm. Yeah, this is cool. I like this company. I like this concept. I like this product. I like this business. And because they have that level of enthusiasm, they have that baseline level of enthusiasm, they're going to take a same level of action, right? Okay, I'll talk to some people. I'll call 5 friends. I'll invite some people. I'll get some customers, right? They're just operating at that same level. And then what happens? You're going to get that same level of results, that baseline level of results. Okay, they sign up 1 or 2 people. But here's where the magic happens. When they get results, these results then do what? Increase their belief. And when their belief increases, what happens to their enthusiasm? It increases. And if your enthusiasm increases, then what happens? Their action increases. And when their action increases, what automatically happens? The results increase. And when the results increase, what happens to their belief? Boom, it triples up. And what happens to enthusiasm? Boom, triples up. What happens to the action? Triples up. And what happens to the results? Boom, now they're just all fired. They don't even know what to do with themselves. And that's how you get a person in momentum. See, everyone thinks people just join in momentum. No, it's something that you got to create. You got to be a master of momentum. You got to nurture and develop that. And as a leader in this business, and I know most of us here are brand new, you're just learning this. I want you to have this mindset that this business is not about you. It's about the people you're sharing the opportunity with. It's about helping your people and helping your people succeed. And if you have that mentality of helping people go through this bear cycle, you're going to be able to help them create results, increase their belief, increase their enthusiasm, and in turn increase their overall business. And that in turn is going to do the same for you. Now, what's the flip side? Well, if someone has, let's say, negative results, guess what's going to happen to their belief? Negative belief. But happens to their enthusiasm, you're going to have a low level of enthusiasm, then low level of action. What happens to the results? Boom, low level results. And then it creates a negative cycle. So it goes both ways, guys. So now let me go through the most important piece of my conversation today. And this is something that actually helped me go from 0 to 6 figures once I learned this tip. And I think it'll help you a lot, especially if you're utilizing all the tools that the Online Sales Pro team and family have put together for you guys. And so let's talk about this, because I know there's a big, like a whole big debate, is warm market better than cold market? I got to delete all this. Give me 1 second. Clear all drawings. Great. So some people are like, is warm market better than cold market? Is cold market better than warm market? Where do I put my attention and focus? Well, let me just tell you how this works, right? I don't believe one is better than the other. I used to think there were two different things, but now the way I look at it is one feeds the other. Okay, let me say that one more time. One feeds the other. So it's not like you want to do cold market only or warm market only. No. One feeds the other. And so there's another market that people never talk about. In fact, I'm just going to type it out here right now. Actually, I'm getting fancy with the Zoom thing. Let's see here. Let's type it out right over here. There's a market that no one really talks about. And I've labeled it as this, the gold market, right? So what's the gold market? The gold market. Now, before I explain how I came to this conclusion, let me just explain really quickly how I came to this conclusion. I can't even move this thing now. Okay, forget that. Okay, how do I come to this conclusion? Let me just show you how I came to this conclusion. Let me stop writing here. Hit the next slide here. Okay, so here's what I've learned about sponsoring. In fact, in my organization, we probably sponsor close to 20,000 people over the last decade into my company, right? 20,000 reps, and at one point had about 80,000 customers. So we did a lot of business. Now, what I realized, what really helped us do all that, what really helped us do all that was understanding this real simple truth, if you will, when it comes to sales, business, and marketing. People have to like you, then they will trust you, and then they'll do business with you. Right? So people have to like you, then they'll trust you, then they'll do business with you. So everybody is obviously wanting to sponsor a ton of people. You want to get a lot of people to join your team. Now, if they're cold market, the issue is, if you're cold market, do they trust you? No. Do they even like you? Probably not. They don't even know you. How can they like you, right? You think your Instagram page is going to be enough to get someone to make a decision? Well, I like Max. He has nice eyebrows. No, of course not, right? So the cold market process is important to understand, because look, you have to recruit in a cold market because there's more people you don't know than you do know. But if the premise goes, in order for people to do business with you, they have to trust you. In order for people to trust you, they have to like you. Man, that's a process. That's a process. That means we have to build relationships. So in the cold market, really what happens is it's getting straight to it. You're just getting straight to business. And that's why the sign-up ratio isn't as high as when you're dealing in the warm market. So as an example, if you call your best friend, does your best friend like you? I would hope so. That's why they're your best friend, right? Does your best friend trust you? I would think so, if that's your best friend. So because your best friend likes you and trusts you, guess what's highly likely to occur? Highly likely that your best friend will do business with you. We did a study in my organization where we looked at all the people who fit the first level in our company that sponsored at least 2 people. And we asked all these people, I think it's like 100 of them, who were the first 2 people you recruited in your company? And I think the number was like over 80% of those people said, oh, my best friend, my cousin, my brother. So someone they had a relationship with, right? And so I'm going to teach you some magic today. Well, it's not really magic, a strategy, how you'll never run out of warm market relationships. I'm not saying they have to be your warm market relationships. So here's what I'm trying to say. So you have a certain warm market, your friends, your family, or whatever. And you know what? You talk to some of them, great. Some will join your team. You might get 20% to join your organization. Phenomenal. But what happens when you run out of your family and your friends? What do you have to do? Oh, well, you're going to start talking to cold market people. But here's where people begin to start going on that big emotional roller coaster, because cold market ratios are a lot lower than the warm market ratio. I don't want to scare you, but let's say you called 100 people that were your friend, maybe you'll get like 15 to 20 to join. If you called 100 cold market leads, depending on your skill set, you might get like 1 to 5 to join, maybe, if they even answer the phone or if those numbers even work, right? So the numbers are a little lopsided. So what do you do if you know that? If you know cold market's essential, but you got to go through a lot more numbers to get the results you want to get that you could get in a warm market, and the warm market's limited, well, how do you overcome this? Let me just go ahead and save you a decade of time and give you my little secret on how we do this, okay? So I talked about the gold market. The gold market. Let me give you an illustration of how this whole thing works, okay? Let me get my next slide over here. Let me delete all this. Okay, so what is the gold market? Let me give you an illustration. I believe it's going to help you. Oh, there we go. Try to be fancy with it. Secret weapon, taprooting. Okay, so let's talk about taprooting really quick. So here's the game, right? Now you are right here in the middle, and you've got your hot market. Your mom, your best friend, your brother, your sister. These people, you call them. They'll be your customer. Maybe they'll join your business opportunity, whatever, because they trust you. And then when you get past your warm market, you go to your lukewarm market, which will be like your friends at the gym. You don't know the guy's name, but every time you go do a bench press, the guy's there doing arms. You're like, hey, what's up, man? So you have these relationships with people that you're not like close friends, but you're like acquaintances. You know each other. So it's enough to be able to say, hey, what's up? So they'll at least give you the time of day. But then you got cold market, which is like you're in the elevator with a bunch of people and you see somebody there. Well, that you don't know that person doesn't know you. So there's really no trust, no relationship. Or you go grocery shopping and it's a cash register lady right there. That's cold market. Or someone goes to your online sales pro app because they saw you post something on Instagram. They don't follow you. You don't follow them. So there's no relationship there. You just use the right hashtag. So they found you, but there's no relationship there. Now, let me teach you how to do all this. Let me teach you the secret here. Because your cold market has a hot market. So Joe has a best friend. Joe has a girlfriend. Joe has a mom. Joe has an uncle. So Joe has a hot market in which can become your warm market, which means everyone can become your warm market if you learn how to taproot. Let me say it one more time. Your cold market has a hot market. And if you learn how to taproot, their hot market can automatically become your warm market. So I'm going to give you another example of what I mean by this. Okay, let me just clear this out really quick. Okay, so here's the example. I call it the trust triangle. Okay, so this is you, this is Joe, right? So Joe, let's say Joe was a lead as an example. He came in from maybe a YouTube video you posted or whatever, and someone shared it, and then boom, he saw it, was interested, went to your online sales pro landing page, requested more information. So Joe is interested in the opportunity, what he saw, but he doesn't trust you. He doesn't know you. So there's no relationship. So here's what happens. What you want to do with Joe is you don't want to look at Joe like, okay, I'm going to sign Joe up right away. No, what you need to do is look at Joe like he is a doorway. Okay, he is a doorway, because what's more important than Joe joining your organization is Joe giving you his warm market contacts, him letting you know who he has in mind that are people that he trusts, that trust him, that he could share this opportunity with. Because let me explain why. No matter what happens, Joe's still going to be cold market. So you're still playing with the 5%. If you're lucky, if you're really good, 10% enrollment ratio, right? Because it's all cold market, no trust. It's probably less than this, but I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt like you're a beast, okay? So 5-10% ratio. So we don't care if Joe joins the business or doesn't join the business. Yeah, we want him to, but that's not the most important thing. What's most important is meeting his friend Anna. We want to meet his cousin Anna, because Anna is what? Joe's hot market. So Anna does what? She trusts Joe. So watch what happens here. You meet Anna through Joe. Now you're a mutual friend. She'll be more open to you than Joe was, since her trustworthy friend Joe or cousin invited her to hear about the business. So she's hearing it with a different set of eyes and filters, because she's like, well, Joe's my cousin. He wouldn't call me for something that wasn't, legitimate, right? It's a totally different mindset that happens just because there's a relationship there. So what happens now is what? Anna is more open to it. She's less skeptical and interested. Here's the magic. Joe sees Anna interested, right? He's like, oh man, my cousin wants to do this. So now Joe is ready to make it happen. So what I find is that, yes, what you do is important in building rapport, building trust, building relationship, and all that has a major effect whether or not even Joe will feel comfortable opening up his contacts to you. But what I found to be one of the biggest motivators to close Joe or get Joe started in your business is when Joe sees his people or his contacts wanting to do the business, because now he's going to have a sense of fear of loss that if he doesn't join, he's going to miss out. So by using this trust triangle concept, understand you'll never run out of warm market relationships to talk to. You'll never run out of people that already have the trust factor in play. And if you do this, here's what happens. You cut down your time investment in dealing with prospecting and all that, because if it's like this, if I go fishing in a bathtub, how many fish am I going to catch? Now, if I go fishing in an ocean, how much more fish can I catch, right? So you have to ask yourself, where do you want to fish? Do you want to fish in a bathtub, a lake, or do you want the ocean, right? And so when you understand what I just shared with you, you now are you're now deep sea fishing. And you have every tool you need to go out there. Now, let me give you an even better illustration as I conclude our conversation for today. And I hope this is helping you guys. I know for a lot of people here are fairly new, so this might be over your head, but don't worry. Understand that it's a new skill set. And as with anything new, it takes time to develop. So here's the definition of taprooting, right? And this is the better explanation. Using other people's influence and relationships to recruit faster, easier, and keywords, better quality contacts, okay? So that's what taprooting basically is in essence. The goal is to move through people at fast speed and use fear of loss to create urgency and value to get people to take action now. So when people say, oh, I can't join yet because I don't have the money. Has it ever happened? I don't have the money to start the business, or I have to do my research, or I want to see what my friends think, or I don't know, my payday's in 2 weeks. I'm sure we've all had these excuses. So become a great closer. You can learn all the tools and strategies on how to close people from listening to the guys at Online Sales Pro and Grant Cardone and Zig Ziglar and all that. But here's what I say. You know what? If you understand taprooting, you don't even care if people have the money. You don't even care if people are ready to join now or payday or whatever, because taprooting is going to give you more leverage in the game. Let me give you an illustration, and we're going to wrap it up right here. Okay, so watch this. Taprooting for a recruit within 24 hours. Let's say you meet Martin, right? Martin. And Martin sees the business. He watches your video. He's like, this is cool. I don't have the money to join. Maybe the package is $500 to get started or $1,000, whatever it is. But let's just say he's not ready to join for whatever the reason. No problem. Hey, Martin, don't worry about it. I know you're interested. I know you like what you see. You told me that. And you want to find out Martin's why. His why would be, let's say, pay for college. You told me you really wanted to pay for college. Well, we have a plan in place with our company and our leaders that if you're willing to do your part, we know for a fact we can make it happen. But if you're not ready to start today, when do you see yourself getting started with us? And you might say, maybe in 2 weeks or whatever. Say, you know what do we need to do to get you started in the next 24 to 48 hours? And let's just say he's just not ready for whatever the reason. Here's what you want to say. You know what, Martin, let's do this. Before we get you started in the business, why don't we already begin testing the market out? Let's go ahead and start laying some things out. Let me position you. Let me pre-position you with some people in your group, potential customers. So that way, by the time you're ready to get started, you could already have money. You could already have business. You could already have cash coming back to you. So who do you know, Martin, that's motivated, ambitious, and hardworking? Now, Martin might say, oh, I know somebody. And then he refers you his cousin Mary. So you meet Mary, she sees the plan. She's not ready to sign up. Okay, no problem, Mary. You're not ready to get started. When do you see yourself getting started? Oh, I'll get started in 2025. Okay, great, no problem, Mary. Well, let me ask you this. Who do you know that's hardworking, motivated, looking to make additional income? And she's like, I know somebody. I got a guy named Marvin. He's my cousin as well, and da-da-da-da. He's into this kind of thing. Great. So then you go and talk to Marvin. Maybe Marvin's wanting to do the business. Maybe he's already involved in another business. Who knows what it is? But look at what's going to happen here. You don't care. Yeah, you want Martin to sign up. You want Mary to sign up. But it doesn't matter. What you want more than them joining your business is you want them to get you in front of some people, right? So what happens is you get to Marvin. From Marvin, you get to David. And let's say David, he doesn't have the money to join, or he's skeptical, whatever. But then he introduces you to Joel. And Joel's like, I'm ready to do this. I've been looking for this my entire life. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, this is incredible. I'm so ready. I'm ready to go beast mode. What do I have to do? So he signs up. So what ended up happening, you went from kind of interested, not really interested, kind of interested, not really interested, to boom, red apple, ready to go, beast mode, signed up, ready to go, he has a contact list. He's going to blast all his friends, whatever. So now what just happened? You take Joel, and instead of putting him in your system right away, here's what you want to do. Say, great, Joel, we're going to get you started, da-da-da-da. But before you put his paperwork in, what I would do is go back to David. Hey, David, listen, Joel already has a list of 100 people we're going to be talking to in the next couple of days. He's going to go executive in the next few days. He's going to blow this up. We have hundreds of customers already on the line. That means big money for you. David, how serious are you about making money? Because you're about to blow up. With Joel and your group, if you get started right now, you're going to be able to override everything we're going to go do. David, what do you want to do? Do you want Joel underneath you so you can make money, or do you want me to put him underneath somebody else and someone else is going to make money? Now, David's going to be like, what do you mean? Yeah, man, you got to get started. Otherwise, you're going to miss out. Okay, I want to do the business. Great. We need the money right now. We need you to get registered today before I put Joel in. Joel has a bunch of people ready to go. And now David's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go find the money. I'll get back to you. Say, yeah, call me in 1 hour. Otherwise, Joel's going in without you. And then what do now? You call Marvin. Hey, Marvin, you said you weren't really interested because you're in some other deal. Great, no problem. You can keep doing your other deal, but I want to let you know you're sitting on a gold mine. We got David. We got Joel. These two guys right now, no question about it. They're about to sign up hundreds of people over the next couple of weeks. I wanted to give you a chance to position yourself above all that so you could override it, make money. You told me you wanted to pay for your new car and go on vacation. Why don't you get started with all the business we're going to build? Guaranteed you're going to position yourself to make thousands of dollars. So what should we do? Should we put David and Joel underneath you or somebody else? No. Underneath me. And then what do? Before Marvin gets in, go to Mary. Hey, Mary, listen. Hey, what's up? Remember me? I talked to you 3 days ago. You referred me your cousin, Marvin. Marvin's getting in. David's getting in. Joel's getting in. Crazy. We got these 3 guys. They're about to blow up. I can promise you we're going to turn these 3 people into 300 people in the next 30 days. I wanted to give you a chance, Mary. Since you introduced me to Marvin, I want you to position yourself so you can get paid on everything. Could you use an additional $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over the next 90 days, Mary? What could you do an extra 20 grand? Oh my God, yeah, I could definitely, do this. Okay, great. Well, here's what we need to do. We need you to get started. I know you said your husband was negative. You said he was skeptical. He didn't want you to do the business, but let him know what's going on. I mean, if I have to talk to him, I'll talk to him. In fact, you should get him in, because if you get him in, guess what? You're going to promote right away. With all the business you have happening underneath you, you don't want to miss out. So do you want to make money or not? Oh yeah. Okay. And then what do? You do the same thing with Martin. So what we call this is building a fire from the bottom up. So you taproot through people's warm market. Now, how did you get Martin? That could have been the cold market lead you got on Online Sales Pro. See, here's what I want to tell you. All those leads you're getting, they all have a warm market. If you got 100 leads that came in last week and every single one of those leads referred you just 3 people, you just expanded your lead base by another 30 people. Right? So understand the business you're in. You're in the business of network marketing. So you've got a network to market, right? And so understanding this concept right here, ladies and gentlemen, there's no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to absolutely create massive momentum in a relatively short period of time. Just have this mindset that a recruit isn't a recruit until she has a recruit. A leg is not a leg until it's at least 4 deep. And a team will have a life of its own once you develop at least 2 levels of leaders. That's another conversation for a whole another time. But the main thing I wanted to share with you guys is the mindset you need to have as you begin building your business and becoming an entrepreneur. Success takes time. It's a process. There's going to be breakdowns before your breakthrough. Just don't quit. Stay committed. Stay the course. And understanding that direct sales and network marketing is by far one of the most lucrative businesses you can get involved in. Low risk, high reward. And with Online Sales Pro and the company you're with and all the training that you guys have access to, there's no reason why you can't win. Trust me when I tell you, you can win. And not only can you win, you deserve to win. You wouldn't be on this webinar if you weren't serious about your future, if you weren't serious about your success. So I know you got that desire within yourself to do above average things. So even though your circumstances right now might seem average, you're not average. And it's important right now that you make decisions, life-changing decisions right now. What you're going to do for the rest of this year, 2017, we're more than halfway through the year. It's already August. Can you believe that? A few more months, it's going to be 2018. It's crazy. And so regardless of how much business you've done or how much momentum you're in or how much success you're having or not having, forget all that. That's the past. All that matters is what you're going to do from this point forward, planting your flag, making a decision that if it is to be, it's up to me. Because at the end of the day, success is not for the chosen few. It's for the few who choose. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Max, Knowles, everybody. That was amazing. Thank you for throwing it down like you always do. So I want to recap a couple things real quick for our members.
Sure.
I love the fact that in the beginning you said you took your emotion out of your success and your success curves that you were going through. When you did that, you were able to focus on the results that would actually produce what you were looking for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And then Grady, I know you were taking notes on this stuff, but so many things. The trust triangle, fantastic. The taproot,
the business cycle. I mean, it's such the emotion of it, peak recession, trough, peak expansion. I mean, so much reality.
We're going to recap all this stuff for all of our members. We may make a document. We may put it in the back office. This was a great great training. And the way that he controls his team. Now let's talk a little bit about you before you go. You've been on long, and I appreciate your time.
Oh man, very much so.
You've been in ACN for 13 years, and that was the only company. And you went through the struggles, the good and bad. You showed us first couple of years were slow, right? And and you took that turn.
That's right.
Most people quit in the first month, let alone go 3 years before they make some serious money. I mean, that's a testament to your belief in the opportunity, your belief in your company, your belief in yourself, or your belief in what you wanted to create for your future. Because many times when people get started in this business, they see other people having success in it. They don't have success, and they think maybe it's not for me. I'll go get a job. And then the reality is that success is certain because so many people have already shown that there's a path, right? There's a path that's already been etched in the mountain to the top. Sure. It's just we walk that same path. And so, I mean, I don't know if everyone, the people that, I mean, you should go back and look at you got people that want to have your babies on here. Like, I mean, there was some amazing love, but appreciation, but also a deep understanding that you're a master of your craft. You're a master leader. Max City's brought in over 20,000 people. I mean, that's probably just distributors. From a customer standpoint, I'm sure that number is so
you've got 100,000 people in and out of the organization and customers. And how do our members, if they want to learn more about Max or they want to work more with Max, I mean, we do promote each other, to grow with each other within our community. How would they reach out to you?
Well, a couple ways. I mean, one way is you can go through my online sales pro app at maxknowles.com or hit me up on Instagram at dynasty_max, dynasty_max. That's probably the best way, or send me a DM or whatever, and I'm definitely here to support the community.
And you said maxknowles.com is one of the pages you use for OSP, the capture leads.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're about to start doing a lot more stuff. I mean, I'm excited about what we're going to be doing together, guys. So absolutely. Yeah.
The gold market, like that was such a beautiful training about digging down through people and not valuing the first. I mean, I can't like my past experience in the business. I think my top leader came from someone that was like 37 levels away from me. And right. it's that like 37 people who enrolled one person all the way down, and then one person who brought in 20,000 people. And that's what people overlook that. In the first month, it's hard. Second month, it's really hard. Third month, I'm still paying this auto ship. I haven't made any money. You start doubting. And the reality is that if you put in the work, you stick these processes, the bear effect, momentum, digging down momentum, a lot of new excited people following a system and getting results. Max, this was a premier training.
And for the first time, all of you guys out there have heard go for no's, strive for no's. Max explained why you want those no's. You don't just want to know and then you move away. But when you can introduce that they can do it themselves through proper tap routing and getting their warm market to become, your lukewarm market, which gives you a leg up over your cold market. There is no such thing as cold market when you look at it through the eyes of all three of us here, because everyone just needs that little urge of, this is going to be okay. You're not alone in this. And people that can be successful in this.
100%.
And everybody does. And that's an easy icebreaker for all of you out there, where if it's business isn't, the business you're promoting, OSP, whatever it is, isn't for your member, maybe it can be the solution to one of their family or friends. And when that happens, all possibilities open up. Max,
I love this line here, and this is as I asked Max about TSIs, and he dropped a whole list of them. But my favorite thing that we took away is something that you guys can use today with someone you talk to on the phone who says, I'm not really interested in that. The line Max just gave to us, he says, well, who do you know that's motivated, ambitious, and hardworking? Because you're saying to the prospect, you've just raised your hand and told me you're not motivated, ambitious, and hardworking. They go, wait, I'm interested in change. And so it's kind of like using them, what their response against themselves. But at the same standpoint, you're asking them, who do you know that's looking for change? Who do you know that's motivated, ambitious, and hardworking? 3 perfect words to dial down a great quality prospect who would be great for your business.
One thing I'll share in terms of everything we're talking about right now, how I actually taproot using OSP. It actually was a game changer for me. I think we connected probably at the end of 2013, beginning of 2014, if I'm not mistaken, when I went to go launch in Chicago. I launched a new market out there. And the way we actually did it was all through OSP landing pages. And so here's what happened. I went there through a taproot I had here in Florida. So they knew somebody in Chicago. So I went there, started doing some meetings. And I was sitting in the lobby at a hotel doing a bunch of cold market one-on-ones. No one knew me. I didn't know them. But here's what I would do. Anytime someone showed any kind of interest in the business, what I had them do, we took a photo together. I'd put my OSP website landing page, maxknowles.com, and then I'd have that person post it on their Facebook wall with a comment like, excited to work with this gentleman, Max Knowles from Miami, da-da-da-da. Whether this person even joined the business or not, I had them post a picture of us with a comment. And so all their friends would see my landing page, and I would generate leads through his warm market that would see that. And that's actually how I recruited the guy who helped me launch Chicago, and we put on a few thousand people as a result. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Man, wow. So you're saying that an OSP Taproot using the landing page produced thousands of members on your organization?
Yeah, probably created an additional multiple six-figure income in just Chicago alone, and over $1.5 million in new revenue in the course of 12 months.
You guys see how that can happen? And it's just by doing proper leadership, proper training, getting excited, enrolling people, and having a system, being a system-dependent team rather than just a sponsor-dependent. When you can merge those two, anything can happen. And just so you guys know out there, we're doing some big things, and we're trying to set up some big things with Max and his team and his company over there. And be on the lookout for that. And if you're interested in Max Knowles, go check out his landing page. Go check out his site. Go connect with him on Instagram and know that he's one of our friends. He's been helping us since 2013, 14.
That's incredible. Yeah, wow. It's been that long.
I'm happy to hear that we've helped put thousands of people into your organization. I mean, that's fantastic.
That's what you guys do. You guys are a blessing, man. We appreciate you guys.
Hey,
thank you, Max. We appreciate you. Grady, you got anything else for Max before
my head is spinning. This is awesome. Thanks for sharing. It's so good. What we're watching right now is game changing. What an amazing training in the business of problem solving. This is like, so people are just grateful and appreciative. And so we want to tell all our people, we're going to put this training in the back office for you guys to watch. Max, absolutely fantastic, man. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing so much. I know you're private with a lot of your trainings because they're, these are your trade secrets. You don't just get, it's like a tightrope. Do you walk? Do you give it away? But I know you've got some closed door training. I know you opened some of that up to all of us today, and we really appreciate that. And I know our user base appreciates that as well. So guys, reach out to Max, maxknowles.com, or go find him on Instagram, dynasty_Max on Instagram. And I did like your little social media hack tip you just shared, though. He puts the URL on the picture because there are analysis now saying if you put the link in the post, that Facebook doesn't show it as much. So if you put the link on the picture, Max Knowles is pretty easy to remember how to spell. So get short domains, guys. And he tips all the way to the end, man. Tips all the way to the end.
Beast mode.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We look forward to continuing to grow. And guys, send Max some love in the comments.
Bunch of love. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. Yeah, show him some love. We appreciate anything we can do for you. We look forward to working more with you and everybody in your team in the very, very near future, Max.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care.
Have a good one.
Wow, Grady. Hey, it only helped produce another $1.5 million in revenue.
In 12 months.
Oh, too cool. Guys,
what a fantastic training. Max has set the bar for trainings on online sales.
He has PowerPoints. He's on